What's up, guys? I am here with Elamite and Neighbor here this morning to talk about Halo 4. So, guys, let's get right into it. Kyle, we'll start with you. In a nutshell, your honest thoughts on Halo 4, your first impressions.
First impressions was fun. I had a good time playing it, trying out new weapons, Promethean vision, different attributes, loadouts. When it comes down to competitive gameplay wise, I still feel like it's pretty hard to tell exactly how well it'll play out. They're throwing so many more attributes of Call of Duty into it that it's really losing a lot of the Halo feel, and I feel like a lot of the people who are big fans of Halo over Call of Duty, what they expect from a game. So overall fun, but competitive aspect wise, which is like my forte as well as Neighbor, it's going to be tough to see.
Yeah, cool. What about you, Mace?
I had fun as well. My problem was, one, we were playing on 50-inch plasma TVs, which made the game feel really heavy. And when I tested Halo 3, it kind of felt the same way. So I think the movement of the game is faster than Reach, and the feeling of the Master Chief will be faster than Reach, which is good for competitive play.
Right.
But I do have the same problem with Kyle, where it's so much like Call of Duty, where there's these kill streaks that gives you a sniper rifle or overshield. And it basically takes out the whole trying to control a certain part of the map. I mean, there are some weapons down, like you could pick up. Were they weapon drops? Yeah, ordnance drops. But those are random, and hopefully we didn't get to play test the full game, but hopefully when the game comes out, I hope there's gonna be a forge where you can turn off certain kill streaks, because even Call of Duty, they don't have kill streaks. And so I just think that would totally hurt the game. But it's fun shooting the battle rifle. There's some really cool new weapons. I liked the map Haven the most. I think it reminded me a lot of Narrows with the structures, and is kind of, I think it is symmetrical, or is somewhat symmetrical. But yeah, it was a blast to play. It was just tough because we're standing up playing on 50-inch plasma screen TVs while being interviewed by the crew that they had, so we couldn't really focus on the game as much.
Right. A lot of the weapons you were saying were cool. The scatter shot, obviously awesome. But yeah. I can't remember, what was the name of the one you shot like a sticky grenade?
It was a sticky detonator.
The sticky detonator? That thing I thought was
I didn't even shoot it, but I was getting destroyed by it.
Yeah,
really?
I'm not sure if they're going to have to nerf it or whatever, but talking about it last night with 343, and it's pretty powerful right now.
Yeah. It's definitely powerful, but the whole way of using it, I feel like it has the delay. You have to almost shoot halfway across the map to actually blow someone up.
One thing I didn't see, and we played I think 3 maps, I didn't see rocket launchers on any of the maps. Is that in the game?
I got rockets
on a drift. There was definitely rockets on a drift.
I got rockets doing ordnance drop, I think.
Okay. I think rockets also, I don't know if they spawn top middle on a drift, but they were sitting very top middle on one of the game types on a drift.
I think, actually that's
it might have been Regicide.
And yeah, I had it.
Might have been an Infinity Slayer first weapon drop.
What the game that MLG uploaded of mine, it was my gameplay, but there was so much of Best Man and Hoaxer and whatnot. But I had rockets that game, and I got several kills with it using and it's crazy to use like something like rockets with Promethean vision.
Yes.
It's just the ability to control and dominate a game is so high with some of these attributes and some of these new weapons.
Especially if you have like rockets on Regicide, Promethean vision when everyone's running at you, which obviously would it'd be crazy. So let's continue talking about the maps. Did you guys get a chance to play Longbow at all, or was it just Adrift and?
Yeah, I just played Adrift and Haven. Yeah.
Cool. So what do you think of Adrift overall?
It reminded me of a map in Halo 3, Rat's Nest, a little bit.
Just as it turns in small hallways?
Yeah, I definitely do not see it being a competitive map at all. But nonetheless, it was cool. The map didn't make sense to me. It was like a big team battle map.
One thing I've definitely been noticing, and I think it's it's been the same for a while now with all these new map packs that's been put out. None of the maps are really designed for competitive play. It's more designed for fun. Like you can take lifts and run around the outside of the map. If someone's above you, you gotta like run to take the stairs up, and it's like realistic looking stairs with different corners and angles going up, railings that you can't shoot through, all these kinds of things that make the map look great. From looking at it from a third person perspective. But I know first started having a real problem with it in H3. I don't want to throw a nade at someone at their feet and have it bounce back at me because they decided to put like a little
bottom middle,
fake hook
top,
on.
top middle guardian with all the little nooks and
Exactly.
crannies.
Yeah, and stuff like that completely diminishes the competitive aspect of the game.
Well, there are a lot of little things that we can point out because we've been playing Halo professionally for the last 7 years. One thing I absolutely disliked was the volume, or it was the sound that I was getting through my headset, because it wasn't just what I loved about Halo 2 and Halo 3 is if someone's shooting, you know where they are on the map.
Mm-hmm.
In this game, you have so much. You have so many different sounds, outside sounds, coming through your headset that is just confusing. It's like, yeah, you can hear where people are shooting, but you'd also hear like some random cry or something. I mean,
Right, all the lifts and things they'll put out in outer space, stuff like that.
I want to say it could be obviously the headset will come into play there, but I know 343 did like totally remaster the audio, so it'll probably make everything a lot more difficult competitively. Instead of just footsteps and gunfire.
Yeah.
It'll be obviously a lot more sounds. And did you guys hear any music at the end of the games? For example, if you're right now in the current beta build, if you're winning in Regicide with like 2 minutes left, like this crazy suspense music comes in, and at first it was like, what the hell's going on? But I just wanted you guys didn't experience that.
No, I don't think so, because I was on the losing team every game, so all I heard was pitch. There's nothing. We're just getting destroyed.
I was talking a lot of crap and wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah. And Kyle was right across from me, so after he killed me.
We would just keep looking at each other talking crap.
Because he thinks he's good at the game, but he's really not.
The best so far, but no
Speaking
big
of,
deal.
who was the best out of the pros playing at MLG?
It's funny because even at the start of Halo 3 and Reach, Frosty tends to do pretty well, and then for some reason he just falls off the map. But he was standing out. I'm just joking, Frosty. You're a good guy, good player. But he was standing out. He has the good shot. I think who's terrible at Halo 4 is Bestman. He was just getting absolutely destroyed. I mean, I was standing right next to him, and he dropped a 7-23 bomb one game, and it was just, you can't win with a guy like that on your team.
I've never seen someone go so negative at something outside of an event. And this wasn't even Halo 4, this was Halo Reach as well.
Yeah.
At the Turtle Beach booth, that was just, I don't want to get into that.
So hopefully Nick puts in the time.
So obviously, the maps, we'd like to see the best out-of-the-box maps that we can to create the best competitive experience across the board. But talking to 343 last night, they did say that essentially every option will be able to be turned off.
I think there's a ton of potential with Halo 4. If it's customizable, if we're able to make some good competitive settings, which I 100% think Anakin will come up with a good competitive
Format.
Yeah, format for us to play. I think it could be great because it is fast paced. There's a ton of potential, and if the new maps are good,
Fun and fairly well balanced weapons.
what I hope though is that capture the flag, oddball, neutral bombs. I hope there's more game types that the competitive players can use because last year with Reach we were stuck playing one tournament. It's just a Team Slayer capture the flag tournament.
Yeah,
that's all it was for game types, and it was so nice when we had fresh new game types and we didn't have to play the same.
But yeah, that's also interesting too because even when Reach, let's say last season of Reach for MLG, there was no Sprint, no Bloom. Well, there's a big portion of the community that continued to play Bloom and Sprint. Only the players that would play specifically MLG didn't have that. So, I don't know how I feel. Like, I love the fact that you can adjust and customize so many different things, so many different aspects of the game. But at the same time, it's like you could be playing 20, 30, 40 different versions of Halo 4.
Easily. If not hundreds.
Yeah, and somebody comes up to me and say, oh, like, you're great at Halo 4, let's go play. And, like, I go to his house or something, and they're playing, like, I don't even know. The closest I can think of is, like, people in Halo 1 that play, like, Prisoner Rockets. Mm-hmm. Some people love Prisoner Rockets. Yeah. But, with the competitive aspect of it, you switch to generic, you're using pistol and assault rifle. This could be the exact same way, where, you're only running around with the Storm Rifle and no DMR or battle rifle.
Or just all swords in Halo 2.
Yes, just so many different things, they run different speeds, and people don't even realize that player gravity, run speed, that affects the jumps and the places you can get on the map and different routes you can take. So many factors go into it that I like to play things right out of the box and have it be great. Fortunately, that's not always the case. So it will be weird to see, or interesting to see, how exactly Anakin and MLG position Halo 4.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a few more questions. If you're playing Halo 4 right now, would you pick BR, DMR, or Carbine as your primary?
BR, 100%. I love the BR, even though what I did notice, the Carbine is pretty powerful. I just did not use it. It's just fun shooting the battle rifle again. That is definitely my weapon of choice. For
I would
sure.
say like 70% BR. I did use the DMR briefly. I thought it was a lot of fun. I was actually surprised.
You know, gun's pretty badass is the storm rifle.
But I mean, long range, it kind of gets destroyed.
Yeah, long range is
Mid
not
to
that
long
good,
range, it also
in a
gets
close
destroyed.
quarter
Yeah.
map.
Close quarters.
Close quarters is
That
not
map
even
is
fair.
yeah, that gun's insane.
Yeah. Like, did you guys get to use it on Drift? Because I only used it on a
Yeah,
Halo.
I did use it on Drift, and it worked out because using Promethean Vision, which I don't think should be in competitive play at all, but using that, you could always put yourself in a position where you would never have to use the storm rifle in a long range scenario. You
Yeah.
always try and get in a close range battle. But yeah, that gun was pretty sick.
I agree. Melees, tell me what you guys think.
I thought the melee system was cool. One thing that I loved were the new animations for Halo 4. I don't want to give too much away, but I did see. I guess it's giving a lot away.
Just go ahead and do it.
There's an animation where a guy gets tackled.
Yeah,
and
straight up speared.
Yeah, it was
That's what
pretty
it is.
badass.
That happened to me
And
once.
seeing Master Chief do that, I've always wanted to do that, and it made sense that he now has the potential to basically just spear someone like Goldberg.
Yeah, straight up a Goldberg spear. When that happened to me, it goes out to like a third person perspective and you see it happening, and I'm just like, what the hell? So that was cool.
Awesome. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, Kyle, but the spawn system. Anything you guys noticed or did not notice about the spawn system?
I feel like I don't know much about it at all.
The spawn system is awesome. What it is, you spawn near your teammate, which is good. It isn't this random one guy spawns way over here after he dies, and then he gets this perfect spawn to flank the team, that has control. It's actually, you're spawning in close quarters. Obviously there's probably going to be some spawn blocking. If I'm fighting Kyle and I already killed one of his teammates, he's probably going to spawn in a safe area. I don't think the spawns are going to be like Halo 1, where if you're in a certain spot, they're going to spawn there.
Right. What 343 did say is that they overhauled the whole system. First of all, sounds like they rebuilt the game from the ground up, which I think will tackle a lot of the problems. But in terms of the spawn system, they've added many more spawn points, which I think is an interesting way to approach the system, and I think it will work well. If what their logic was is if there's 30 more points on the map, that's a much better chance that you're not going to spawn in one of the crappy spawns, because it comes down to a millisecond when the engine decides where it's going to put you.
Well, even in Halo 3 and Halo Reach, you could adjust the spawn points, right?
Yeah.
You could add more and subtract some.
But you only had a limited amount because it was
okay,
part of
was
the
it?
economy of Forge.
Okay.
Before we go, I just want to say thanks to 343. They're showing their support so much by coming out to MLG Anaheim. They're here interacting with people, and it's really cool to know that the developers of the game are taking our community seriously. So thank you guys, and if you want to see what we're doing with Halo 4 plans, check out our Twitters. You're at
Elamite.
And I'm at Mason Cobb, and we have a lot more content coming soon, so check it out.